Hello and welcome today to our channel. Today we are going to talk about the basic things that you will need as a starter pack for your crochet journey or for your crochet work. And there are things that you need, but today I'm just going to mention the basic things that you will need for a startup. Number one, you will need yarn. This is yarn, and this is acrylic yarn. You will need yarn, and the size of this yarn is chunky yarn. As you can see, it is very heavy, quite heavy. This is chunky yarn, and the chunky yarn, we also have another chunky yarn in another color. This is gray, and this is also chunky yarn. So number one, we have the type of yarn that is the chunky yarn. And then the next type of yarn we have is the medium yarn. The medium yarn, this is the medium yarn. This is the one that it is smaller in size than that of than the chunky yarn. As you can see the comparison, you see this is quite thinner than this one. This is the medium yarn, and then this is another. Although this is a scrap yarn, it has already been used, most of it. This is also a medium yarn, medium size, and then there is also another medium size. This one, this is also medium size. So there are different types of sizes of yarn. So that is the medium size. Another one, now we have the small size. This is thinner than the medium. You can see this is the medium, and then if you put them alongside each other, you can see the difference in the thickness. This is the chunky yarn, this is the small yarn, and this is the medium size. Small size, medium. This is also another example of the small size yarn. And this one, you see, this one, some people normally combine the two, like they like combining the small yarn and the small yarn and working with it like this as one yarn. And if I can say, that still doesn't bring it to the thickness of the medium. It is still smaller, quite smaller than the medium, but it's almost the same. So if you do not have this medium yarn, you could still take the small yarn and combine two of them and use them. Still talking about yarn, example of some projects I did with the different types of yarn. This yarn, this is a granny square, and with this I combined the two. I combined the two small yarn to achieve this. And then another one that I also combined the small yarn to achieve it is this one. This is in color orange. I combined the two. And then there is this one that I only use the medium. This I only use the medium yarn. So as I said, it is possible that if you do not have the medium yarn, you can still combine the two small yarn. This project, this is what you can see here in the background. This is part of it. This project is I also used the small yarn size. This size of yarn, the small yarn, this size of yarn, and I did not combine. It was just one single small yarn. And then another project from the small yarn is this. This is brown. The light is making it look a bit brighter, but this is brown. It is part of this. It's an ongoing project. It is part of this that is in the background. It is with this. And this one I also use the small yarn, the single small yarn. So I'm just giving you examples of yarns and the projects they create. As a beginner, you need to know what you will expect with a small yarn and with the bigger yarn. So if you want a project or say a sweater or a cape or a blouse or anything that is light, go for the small yarn. Whatever you create with it can be weared in a hot weather. They are not so heavy, but they take time because the yarn is small. They take time. And then if you want something that you will finish very fast but will be heavy, you go for this type of yarn. This one you'll finish the project very faster than this one, because this is heavier and it is big. But now if you want something heavy, the one that you'll use during a rainy season or something that is warm, very much warm, you go for the chunky yarn. An example of the chunky yarn project, this I created this using the first yarn that I showed you. This is a mixed yarn, mixed color. So yes, this is for the chunky yarn. Another project from the chunky yarn is these are mixed colors. Yeah, this is just scrap yarn that had remained and I decided to create something colorful. Yes, so you can see it is bigger and it is heavy. It is really heavy. It is a good one for a cold season. This is an example of a chunky yarn. So this is from chunky yarn. So we have covered the type of yarn you can use as a beginner. Another important equipment that you're going to need, they're scissors. You will need scissors to cut yarn and to ensure that the ends are smooth and all that. You will also need, now we have the crochet needle. This is what we use in making the wearables or whatever project you might be doing. You will need a needle. And the needles come in different sizes. And here I have a 6.0 millimeters. And then I have a 5.0 millimeters. And then I have a 4.0 millimeters. I have a 4.5 millimeters, and there is a 3.0 millimeters. So they come in these are the sizes. So if you go to a yarn shop and you need to purchase a needle, you tell them the size that you want, and the size depends on the yarn. For example, if I take this chunky yarn goes well with a bigger needle, maybe a 6.6. This will be good. The needle depends on the size of yarn that you're using. For example, if I want to make let's say a sweater or a muffin using using the chunky yarn, I will go for 6.0 or 5.0. That will make good. If you have yarn that is bigger than chunky yarn, this 6.0 can also work. So the bigger the yarn, the bigger millimeters, or the larger, or let me just say the bigger the needle. And also now you will need if you want a 4.5. This can work with a 4.5, but it will make the outcome of what you're making will be very tight. So if you use a smaller needle on a big yarn or on a big iron, it makes the whatever you're making, it will be very, very tight, which is not good. We just need the right yarn and the right needle. So if let's say I want to make something with a small yarn, I will go for a 3.0. You can see this. I'll go for 3.0. A 3.0 will create something like what I showed you before. It will create something like this because it's a smaller yarn. And then for me, when I'm using the middle or the medium yarn, I go for 4.0. 4.0 is suitable for this yarn, so the outcome of what you're making will be great. So and if I combine the small yarn, if I am you know, I'm combining the two of them, I will still go for 4.0 or 3.5. This is 3.0. That is 3.0 is very much suitable for small yarn, but because now the yarn is becoming larger, you could use 3.5, which I don't have, 3.5 or 4.0. Yeah. So that is all that you will need as a beginner. For if you want to make any project, scissors, you will need the needles and you'll need the yarn. And I've shown you the different types of yarn that we use, the different types of yarn that are there, and you go for what you want, you go for what's suitable for you. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can just put them in the comment section, and follow and subscribe. Until next time, bye.